Seeking English S.A.T. Workbook, page 411, problem 1. And it says no calculator, and you should not need a calculator for this. This is another kind of graphic thing. Can you graphically make sense of it? There's not really anything to formulate or calculate, or not much. As these graphs get more complicated, I'm going to be putting fewer and fewer of them on the board or on the screen for you, and I think that's reasonable. Okay. It says the chart above shows the amount of corn produced in each of 4 towns in 1980 and 1990. Which of the following is the best approximation of the total increase? The total increase in corn production from 1980 to 1990. And so figures for Farmville, which is the first town, are 1980, 1,000, 1990, 1,000. For Acreton, figures are 1980, 2,000, 1990, 4,000. Plowville, that is the third town, figures are slightly above 1,000 for 1980. 1980, slightly above 1,000. And in 1990, 5,000. 5,000. The fourth and last town, Planton, 1980 shows at 2,000, and in 1990, slightly below 2,000. So that's the only one that shows a decrease. Farmville stays the same. Acreton, there's a question about that, so I'm not going to. Just think about what I said and imagine what else I would say. Plowville is an enormous increase, okay, and Planton is a slight decrease. But we're not sure what happened there. It could actually be good news. We don't really know. So the total increase in corn production, this is for all 4 towns. Choices are 30%, 50%, 70%, and 90%. So my first suggestion would be is you have these 2 little bumps. One is Plowville goes up from 1,000 to a little over 1,000. And then in the year 1980, the number is not 1,000, it's slightly larger. In Planton, you have another little bump, which is below 2,000. Okay, so the number is not 2,000, it's slightly below 2,000. But except for those 2 little bumps, Farmville shows at 1,000, 1,000. Okay, or I'm going to do it this way. Except for those 2 little bumps, the figures are approximately this. For 1980, 1,000, 2,000, 1,000, and 2,000. So for a total of 6,000. Okay, except this tiny little bump where it's slightly more than 6,000. For 1990, figures are 1,000, 4,000, 5,000, and 2,000, except for this tiny little drop from Planton. So the total is not 12,000; it is slightly less than 12,000. But graphically, this is a very small difference. This is not a large difference. So if except for those 2 little bumps, total production doubled. Doubling is an increase of 100%. So they're asking what is the total increase. So a total increase from 6,000 units would be to 12,000 units, and that's not exactly what we have. But let's consider these differences. Okay, 30,000. I'm sorry, 30%. I'm not doing this again. 30% is answer A, and that's probably wrong because it is not close to 12,000. It's the answer that is furthest away from 12,000. Okay, that's the simple explanation. But think of it this way: a 30% increase would mean what? Only about a third of 6,000. So it would be a total of only 8,000, and the gap is not that large. These differences are definitely less than 1,000 each. Those two weird little numbers between 1,000 and 2,000 represent differences of less than 1,000. And so for 30%, you would need those bumps to be larger than 1,000. So that's absolutely impossible. I know I'm making this really complicated, but I want you to see how I see it thoroughly. Okay, in case a similar problem requires you to see it more thoroughly than this problem does. Letter B says 50%, and at 6,000 that would be an increase to 9,000. And again, you have a gap closer to 3,000 above that. So it's closer to 12,000 than to 9,000, and these 2 little bumps don't even give you 1,000 total, so it doesn't work. 70% would be a more plausible answer. Would be a more plausible answer. That would be about 2/3 of 6,000. So that would be 4,000. It would take you to about 10,000. That comes graphically into the realm of fair misinterpretation of the graph. But the correct answer still seems to be 90%. If you literally measured this thing, if you literally measured it, you would find that 90% is the closest answer. So sorry if I'm explaining it a lot, but if this problem is not obvious to you, then you're going to need the complete explanation, and that can be. And I want you to get your points, even if this was hard for you. I want you to get points that are hard for you. You deserve them if you're willing to work for them. And if this was easy for you, a similar problem on the real test might not be quite as easy. So I need to show you parts of the process that you may not have needed to apply in this case. Okay, the next question, I'm going to do that in a separate video just for convenience, but it pertains to the same graph. So don't be confused by this. Same graph again, yes. Okay, problem 2 refers to the same graph. See you in a minute.